Hiawatha's Photographing by Lewis Carroll. From his shoulder Hiawatha took the camera of rosewood made of sliding, folding rosewood. Neatly put it all together, in its case it lay compactly, folded into nearly nothing, but he opened out the hinges, pushed and pulled the joints and hinges, till it looked all squares and oblongs, like a complicated figure in the second book of Euclid. This he perched upon a tripod, and the family in order sat before him for their pictures. Mystic, awful was the process. First, a piece of glass he coated with Collodion and plunged it in a bath of Lunar Caustic, carefully dissolved in water. There he left it certain minutes. Secondly, my Hiawatha made with cunning hand a mixture of the acid Pyro-gallic and of Glacial Acetic and of alcohol and water. This developed all the picture. Finally, he fixed each picture with a saturate solution of a certain salt of soda. Chemists call it hyposulfite. Very difficult the name is for a meter like the present, but Theophrast has done it. All the family in order sat before him for the pictures. Each in turn, as he was taken, volunteered his own suggestions, his invaluable suggestions. First the governor, the father. He suggested velvet curtains looped about a massive pillar, and the corner of a table of a rosewood dining table. He would hold a scroll of something, hold it firmly in his left hand. He would keep his right hand buried, like Napoleon, in his waistcoat. He would contemplate the distance with a look of pensive meaning, as of ducks that die in tempests. Grand, heroic was the notion, yet the picture failed entirely. Failed because he moved a little, moved because he couldn't help it. Next, his better half took courage. She would have her picture taken. She came dressed beyond description, dressed in jewels and in satin, for too gorgeous for an empress. Gracefully she sat down sideways with a simpler, scarecrow human, holding in her hand a nosegay rather larger than a cabbage. All the while that she was talking, still the lady chattered, till a monkey in the forest. "Am I sitting still?" she asked him. "Is my face enough in profile? Should I hold the nosegay higher? Will it come into the picture?" And the picture failed completely. Next the sun, the stunning cantab, he suggested curves of beauty, curves pervading all his figure, which the eye might follow onward, till they centered in the breastpin, centered in the golden breastpin. He had learned it all from Ruskin, author of The Stones of Venice, Seven Lamps of Architecture, Modern Painters, and some others, and perhaps he had not fully understood his author's meaning, but if ever was a reason, all was fruitless as the picture ended in an utter failure. Next to him, the eldest daughter. She suggested very little, only asked if he would take her with a look of passive beauty. Her idea of passive beauty was a squinting of the left eye, was a drooping of the right eye, was a smile that went up sideways to the corner of her nostrils. Hiawatha, when she asked him, took no notice of her question, looked as if he hadn't heard it, but when pointedly appealed to, smiled in his peculiar manner, caught and said it didn't matter, bit his lip and changed the subject. Nor in this was he mistaken, as the picture failed completely. So in turn the other sisters. Last the youngest son was taken, very rough and thick his hair was, very rough and red his face was, very dusty was his jacket, very fidgety his manner, and his overbearing sister called him names he disapproved of, called him Johnny, Daddy's darling, called him Jackie, scrubby schoolboy, and so awful was the picture in comparison the others might be thought to have succeeded, to have partially succeeded. Finally my Hiawatha tumbled all the tribe together. Grouped is not the right expression, and, as happy chance would have it, did at last obtain a picture when the faces all succeeded. Each came out a perfect likeness. Then they joined and all abused it, unrestrainedly abused it, as the worst and ugliest picture they could possibly have dreamt of. Given one such strange expressions, sulkiness, conceit, and meanness, really anyone would take it, anyone that did not know us, for the most unpleasant people. Hiawatha seemed to think so, seemed to think it not unlikely. Altogether rang the voices, angry, loud, discordant voices, as of dogs that howl in concert, as of cats that wail in chorus. But my Hiawatha's patience, his politeness and his patience, uncountably had vanished, and he left the happy party. Neither did he leave them slowly, with that calm deliberation, that intense deliberation which photographers aspire to, but he left them in a hurry, left them in a mighty hurry, vowing that he would not stand it. Hurriedly he packed his boxes, hurriedly the porter turned on the bearer all the boxes. Hurriedly he took his ticket, hurriedly the train received him, thus departed Hiawatha.